I am typically not an I told you so person, but today I am. Welcome to Lemon Live at 5. And by the way, pardon my little swollen. I went to the dentist today after our morning live. So I'm a little bit swollen, a little doing that as I speak. So forgive me for that. I'm just going to tell you straight up. Okay. So listen, thank you for joining Lemon Live at 5. I'm so glad that you're here. Have you seen what happened with the economy today? Have you seen what has happened to the stock market and what is happening to the economy? I told you on the live this morning that we're in a recession. Now, I believe it. Charles Payne over at the Fox News believes it too, except he believes that it is Joe Biden's doing, although Joe Biden is not president and Donald Trump has been president for almost 2 months now. Yes, Christy Patterson, I was right. Look at what happened to the market after the live this morning. I told you it's going to get worse. And I told you that Donald Trump doesn't know what he is doing as it relates to the economy and the stock market. The worst day for the Dow since 2022. Can I say that again? The worst day for the Dow since 2022. This is an F around and find out moment. And that is what is happening right now. Someone said, my 401k, I saw it. I wouldn't look at mine. I'm afraid to look at mine. I'm gainfully employed, but I'm self-employed now. And I'm afraid to look at it. Yes, my 401k is gone, says Winky Campbell. So I'm going to give you the facts, and we're going to talk about what's going on. And we're also going to talk about what is the so-called opposition doing. Haven't they learned anything? This is an incredible, huge, big opportunity for them. And yes, he is blaming Biden. How do you come on? Down so many points. And it's continually dropping. It's close, but it's still going down. It is still going down. So let me say it louder for the people in the back. Donald Trump doesn't know what he's doing with the economy. He is pretending he doesn't know what tariffs do. People have been telling him that tariffs are a tax on the consumer, and he is not listening. So I have a question for you guys as we begin this live, okay? Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you hit the like. Our membership button is at the top of the chat. And subscribe. It's right under the Don Lemon Show thing at the bottom right of the screen. Subscribe. It is free. Our memberships are extremely affordable, okay? They're very reasonable. I think they're lower than almost anyone. We have so much to talk about, and I have a great person to talk to us about everything. So stand by for that. And also, we have our Lemon Legends that are going to join us in just moments. These are people who are at the highest tier level, the Lemon Legends, on our program. They get to actually be on the show. So if you want to do that, become a Lemon Legend. Okay, so I have a question for you guys, okay? Have you tried turning the economy off and then turning it back on? Perhaps that'll work because Donald Trump is throwing everything up against the wall, right? So maybe you should just turn it off and then turn it back on, and maybe that, because I'm sure he's going to try that next. The breaking news is that Donald Trump seems to have broken the stock market. He seems to have broken our economy. He seems to have broken the good economy that Joe Biden handed to him, just as he broke the good economy that Barack Obama handed to him back in 2016 and 2017. It is no longer really a question of, well, we'll have a recession. It now seems the question is when the recession will be upon us. I personally think it is upon us right now. U.S. stocks cratered on Monday today amid growing economic concerns, and after President Donald Trump declined to rule out a recession that investors worry could be triggered by his aggressive trade policies. Wait till I tell you what's going on with tariffs in Canada. You're not going to believe this. After falling more than 1,000 points in afternoon trade, the Dow Jones Industrial Average ended at 41,911.71, down some 900 points, 2.1%. 2.1%. The president's trade war with China heated up on Monday as Beijing began implementing retaliatory tariffs on a range of American farm products for which China is the largest market. That includes a 15% levy on U.S. chicken, wheat, and corn, as well as a 10% tax on soybeans, pork, beef, and fruit. And then I'm going to show you what is happening now, okay? Because let me tell you, wait till you see what's happening in Ontario, okay? Wait do you see what's happening in Ontario. Ontario, Canada's most populous province, on Monday also said that it's adding a 25% surcharge to all electricity exports sent to the U.S. as part of a nation's response to the White House tariffs on Canadian products. Now, that was a Dow we talked about. The S&P 500 slid 2.7%, or 187 points. The worst day of the year. S&P shed 3.1% last week, its worst weekly performance in September. A lot of it was tech-heavy stuff that was plummeting. Airline stocks, everything, pretty much everything plummeted. Wall Street's losses come a day after Donald Trump declined to state whether he expects a recession this year, with the president telling Fox News in an interview broadcast on Sunday, quote, "I hate to predict things like that. There's a period of transition because what we're doing is very big." Get me that soundbite. I'm going to play it for you guys in a little bit, please. So joining me to discuss now and how Democrats are really failing, I believe, on the job, failing to meet this moment and message effectively, is a brand new guest that we are happy to join us. Lauren Egan is a reporter for The Bulwark, author of the newsletter The Opposition. Lauren, thank you for joining.
Hey, Don. Thanks for having me.
Not want you to be associated with all of that ire that I have, because it's so ridiculous what's happening right now. It is obvious. You're a reporter. You know this. Isn't it obvious? I mean, have you checked your 401k, by the way?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no.
Luckily, I got a long time to go till retirement, but I'm not looking.
Lauren, what is it? Why does Donald Trump pretend he knows what's happening? He knows better than the generals. He knows better than all the economists. And now here we are. And he's telling people, well, there's going to be some short-term pain or whatever. I don't think people can take much short-term pain because people just don't have the resources, right? They're borrowing from their savings in order to be able to pay for eggs and such.
Yeah, I think he's dramatically overplaying the political card that I think that he has. He thinks that he just won this huge, massive landslide of an election. And in some cases it was, but it also wasn't. It was still a pretty close election if you just look at, the pure numbers of it. People are going to start to get very frustrated once this hurts their pocketbooks. And I don't think that's really sunk in for him yet. I think he thinks he's got this, massive group of people that love him and will love him till the very end. That might be true. There's also a lot of people out there that are going to start to get really upset once this starts to hurt us even more than it might already be hurting some folks.
Yeah, he thinks he has this mandate, but by the way, which he didn't. It was a landslide. None of it was a landslide. None of it was a mandate. But when you have lost Fox News or Fox Business News, you are in deep, deep trouble. You know, at Fox Business News, you know what they called today, Lauren? They called it a sinkhole. Watch.
What started as an ugly day on Wall Street has turned downright hideous. Broad-based selling across the board, and you could call it a sinkhole that's opened up under the NASDAQ. With 59 minutes left to trade, the tech-heavy index is down. This is a big, big percentage loss here, 4.6% or 845 points. But I want you to turn your attention to the S&P 500 that really got traders squirming. The broader index down 188 points. So basically what that indicates to you, and yes, we are at the lows of the session, it has now fallen below its psychologically important 200-day moving average. That's considered a sell signal. Now, the sell-off triggered in part by the signal President Trump sent this week during an interview with Fox News when he declined to rule out a recession. Investors turned tail at the opening bell, selling large cap stocks and just about everything else. But let me show you the Dow Jones Industrials. We have a four-digit loss in the Dow Jones Industrials at the moment, 1,439 points.
Wow.
Just chopped off that index.
Okay.
We now stand at 41,700.
So here we go. Lauren, Donald Trump, as you know, you've been covering him as well as I. He looks at the stock market as an indicator of how successful his presidency is, how the health of the economy, of the overall economy. Now he's telling people, don't look at the stock market. What do you think he's doing as he's sitting there on Pennsylvania Avenue with his hamburger and a Diet Coke and all of those television monitors around him? What do you don't you think this is spooking him?
Totally, because we know that he's incredibly responsive to and sensitive to his media coverage, especially anything that's in the New York Times, Fox News. Whenever the Fox News, New York Times, the mainstream media starts to kind of turn on him like that or have some negative coverage, he's so sensitive to it. There's no doubt that there's a sense of panic in that White House. but they're trying to play it off cool. They're like, yesterday Trump was saying this is just going to be a period of transition, which I'm sure is incredibly, reassuring to everyone out there. But yeah, he gets spooked once the Fox commentators all start to kind of say, yeah, no, this is a problem.
On every television, there is some sort of news station on that he is watching, and he is also recording, right? He goes back and looks at it, and then so he is getting hammered. That's why he did that like impromptu press conference last week in the Oval Office on Friday, because he's trying to change the news cycle. That's why he did that interview with Maria Bartiromo, trying to get people on his side, trying to bend reality into his own reality and the way that he wants it. CNBC now talking about fears of a recession. Here it is.
Begins with sinking stocks again as the markets remain firmly on edge here. Investor optimism so strong in the fall, suddenly shrinking as fears of a recession continue to rise. Take a look at the scorecard here with 60 to go in regulation on this Monday. Ugly from the outset today. Technology stocks are by far the biggest drag on these markets. Tesla is tumbling again. Nvidia sliding. Apple too. Almost nowhere to hide here. Bitcoin below 80K for the first time since November, so it is decidedly risk off. Elsewhere, the names most sensitive to the economy are falling, from airlines to retailers to the banks yet again. All of it taking us to our talk of the tape. The no-good NASDAQ sinking deeper now into correction. It is the worst day since at least January of 2022.
I know. I wanted you to see that for a good reason. And we're going to talk more about all of this. But Lauren, I just want to pivot with you, and then we're going to get back to the economy, because I want you guys to hear what the new prime minister and what the Ontario premier is saying about these tariffs. So, Lauren, let's put up, you have an article in the Bulwark today where you're talking about the strategy of the Democrats and how they just can't seem to make it work. The Democrats' authenticity trap. Why aren't the Democrats out right now, all day, on social media, everywhere, just saying, hi, this is Senator or Congressman such and such and such and such. Have you guys seen the stock market right now? Donald Trump, like in just a 30-second or a minute that they can do it. What are they doing?
Yeah.
Please tell me.
They are so afraid of messing up and just being themselves that it's creating this sort of like paralysis where they can't go out there and get their message across. The Democrats, I think, have a problem where everything has to be message tested. Everything from a simple tweet to a TikTok video, someone on their staff has to sit there, help them write it, help them practice it. Nothing feels authentic, nothing feels real. And in today's communication era, you can't not feel like an authentic person online if you're trying to get a message, especially a political message, out. So they're in a big bind right now where they are trying. They're trying to be more present on social media. They're trying to go on different kinds of podcasts. They're trying to go to places like your show, on the Bulwark, all these different kinds of outlets that more and more people are turning to get their news from. But they just haven't figured it out yet. And more times than not, the attempts they do make to try and reach people just comes across as super cringy. It doesn't work. It backfires. I'm sure everyone watching saw some of the TikToks that Democrats did last week around the State of the Union address that just got completely torn apart because it just felt a little silly.
Well, Lauren, just in case they haven't, Lauren Egan, let's just play one of them for it. This is cringe Democrats last week. Watch. Did that show up on the screen? Did you guys see it? I don't know if I saw it on the screen. Can we play it again? I'm not sure if it showed up because I'm not sure. No, it did not show up on the screen. Are we having an issue? Yeah, I don't see it. Is it because we're having an issue with our system or what is it? There we go.
Must have been a glitch, but you can see it now. It should work.
Yeah, from the beginning. Let's go. Thank you.
I mean, maybe that speaks to someone, but it doesn't speak to me.
They're trying, right?
They are trying. They're trying. You have to give them credit for trying, but it's not working. It's not working.
I don't know. But it's shocking because they see someone. I think AOC was in there, and I think Jasmine Crockett was in there as well. But they're actually doing great on social media and on legacy media as well.
Yeah, those are two members of Congress that I think actually do a pretty decent job on their own. Maybe not when it's a group effort like that. But yeah, as you see, it just, it comes across as so forced, and that just doesn't work online anymore. And you can tell that was some, staffer that sat in a room and say, oh, I have a great idea. Let's all make time on the schedule to get together to record this TikTok. That's not how you get an effective message across. Like you said, it's just feeling like you're hopping on your phone and immediately giving voters and constituents updates and delivering your message 24/7.
Let me tell you this. I think there's a learning curve, and I do think there is I don't know if it's a bit of a detox moment or whatever, because when I came up legacy media, right, I was so used to having like this was one of my kits from CNN. I still have the little thing, all the makeup and the suit and whatever. And now there is, nothing, no makeup, no nothing. It's just me.
Yeah. Now I'm like shown up in a hoodie. Yeah. It's totally different.
And people love it. We did we poll test. We do a poll test on, do folks like me in this new studio that I bought, or they like me right here in my home?
Yeah.
And the shows that are done for my home get a better engagement than me sitting in something that looks almost akin to a cable news set. It looks beautiful. The lighting is all great. But people are like, we just want you kind of hanging out in your home. It feels like you are authentic, that you're reachable, that you're touchable, that you're just like us. So they don't have to. The easy thing is that they don't have to do all that. They can pick up the thing and say, look, I'm not very good at this technology. My daughter helped me, or my grandkid, or whatever. But let me just tell you something and just be real. Why not? Why can't they do it?
I think it's so ingrained in the Democratic Party among Democratic staffers that you can't make a mistake. They're almost just so afraid to screw up that it creates a sense of paralysis where they'd rather just play it safe than get out there and do something bold. And it's hurting them. I think, they paid a cost for it, obviously, the 2024 election. And if they can't figure it out before the midterms, that could be quite bad for them.
Oh, did we lose Don?
I think
Don's frozen for me.
He's frozen for us too.
Stand by, Lemonheads. We will fix that in just a second. Sorry, Lauren.
No, you're good.
Lauren, now that we have you,
Yes.
and we'll get Don back in just a second, do you want to walk through some of the other aspects of your article? I know that you've honed in on Gavin Newsom quite a bit.
Yeah. So the Gavin Newsom's podcast, which, Governor of California, he has a new podcast out. First episode dropped last week with Charlie Kirk, who is the conservative sort of MAGA darling. And if folks saw the podcast, might have seen it because it made headlines for Newsom's stance on trans athletes. Hey, Don. It's funny that as soon as you were saying that you don't go to the studio, you do it from home. Of course, that happens. Yeah.
but actually, our connectivity in the studio is not even as good as this. Yeah. So here we go.
All right, I'm hopping off.
So again, talk to us. To Peter about.
Yeah, I was chatting with Peter about the Newsom podcast that came out last week. And folks might have seen it because it made headlines for Newsom's comments on trans athletes. But the part that I was most interested in was I was chatting with a lot of Democratic strategists who were basically like, this podcast doesn't make sense to us. This misses the entire point. The point is that Democrats have to go into spaces that are apolitical, spaces that they didn't necessarily build or create on their own. So like the obvious example that everyone's talked about is a Joe Rogan show or Theo Von show, places that are political adjacent, where you're going to find voters who are maybe not as interested in politics, who are swing voters, who are the kinds of people that you actually have to win over for an election.
I'm listening.
And
I think I'm back on it on like two things, but go on.
Yeah. So essentially it was got a lot of eye rolls from Democratic staffers, Democratic strategists, some of whom I think are really smart on these issues, just basically saying it's not about this all this talk about we have to build the Joe Rogan of the left. They're like, no, we just have to show up into all of these spaces that we've been ignoring for so long and acting like the same old, CNN or NBC News 3-minute TV hit is going to be as effective when it's just not anymore.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, and I think that during the election, obviously they figured out that it's not the same because I think Donald Trump actually showed them that because he went, as you said, he went on all of these different platforms, and they're sort of enamored still with the patina of legacy media. They think by going on and doing who is it? Was it Governor Pritzker or someone saying that Democrats think that they can go on these shows for a 3-minute interview and it's going to have a huge impact on anything. And he realized, no, it's not. You spoke to Governor Pritzker for your piece.
And I think what he said about it too is so interesting because obviously Democrats, as we know from this past election, have a elitist problem. They're seen as the party of the overly educated, the party of the elite. And in a way that kind of plays into it, right? They're saying, oh, we're going to stick with, the big, fancy, shiny TV studios. That's where we think our time is of most value. When in reality, millions of people are actually in listening to these podcasts every week or whatever it is, YouTube TV shows, podcasts. And so some strategists that I talked to as well were kind of like, yeah, we're sending this signal and like reaffirming that going to these more elite, overly educated spaces are more important than going to these other spaces that have a general audience population. Mm-hmm. Pritzker is interesting. Pritzker is someone who I think is definitely kind of been like, yeah, we got to do some more. And he's one of the few Democrats that I think are really trying to get out there on all different kinds of shows and all different kinds of podcasts, not just the cable news circuit anymore.
So apparently, listen, I know I spoke to Brian a while back about somehow coming to, as like having a strategy for people who are on the more progressive side, whether it's centrist, left or right, or even progressive side, of having the sort of ecosystem that conservatives have in these spaces, right? Because I think conservatives kind of own these spaces. But here's the thing I found now after the election, because it was quite frankly not impossible, but there was there was a difficulty curve, so to speak, in getting Democratic politicians to come on shows like this. And now they're reaching out, like in my DMs, hey, Don, it's such and such from such and such's office. And
so
the congressman is going to be in town and the senator is going to be in town on this day. Can we have a coffee? I'm like, why don't we just have a coffee on the show? Why don't you just come on for 20 minutes and we just hash this out and just talk? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think...
Do you see that at the Bulwark now?
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting because they're so not used to that. Like you just said, sitting down with you on the show for 20 minutes or an hour, having a cup of coffee. Because a lot of these podcasts are pretty long. So that was something that strategists also brought up. And it was a point that Charlie Kirk made to Gavin Newsom as well, that, Democrats just have not been doing these really long form type interviews. And it's an entirely different skill set. And if you're so used to, and it's been so trained into your brain that you have your 3 talking points, you stick to them, you don't go off message, and that will get you through the 3-minute cable news TV hit. It's an entirely different way of training your brain and rethinking about how you communicate to the public. So I think it's, they're in a cringe phase right now. There's no doubt about that, but there's going to be a learning curve. It's going to take time.
Aren't they strategizing with people like Brian and others who are in these spaces and perhaps a Bulwark, and I'm sure they're going to call me at some point to try to figure out what to do when I don't even know if it's figure out what to do. It's just like, just do it.
It's just like, just go on the shows. Some of the advice they've received, which I thought to be kind of funny when they brought in people to the Hill to come talk to them about how to work through this problem is literally just like, don't overthink it. Just record the video and post it. Do not sit there and script it out. Do not sit there and over edit. Do not sit there and think about the 1,000 different ways that this could be perceived in the wrong way or something. Post the video, go on the show, do that literally every second of every day. And that's what you have to do in order to figure this out. So yeah, to your point, like you just kind of have do it. I don't know why they're not doing it yet.
Just do it. Wasn't that like a Nike or something?
Yeah,
Just
truly.
Do it. Yeah. All right. Hey, Lauren, thank you so much for coming in. Sorry about the technical problems. It would have happened in your first appearance on the show, and we haven't had a connectivity problem in quite a while. We have had them before, as everyone does, even on the big channels on linear television. So thank you so much. Make sure you check out her piece in the Bulwark, and we look forward to having you back on. Best of luck to you. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, everyone. So look, glad that you're here. Sorry about the connectivity problems. I'm not exactly sure which I'm on. I don't know if you're hearing. Are you guys hearing the right microphone? Producers, can you make sure? Can you tell me the right microphone is on? You're not hearing like 4 different microphones?
I don't think it's the right one. Can you see if the Shure one? Can you switch it to that?
I don't know if I can switch it to that because you know why I can't switch it to it? Because I'm listening to this actually on the Shure microphone.
We can still hear you though.
Yeah, it's good enough.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back.
I do want to shout out that a certain someone would love a birthday shout out. I have the comment on the screen. So.
Okay, I cannot see it. Stand by. I'm going to try. Let me try to work on this. I'm going to do the technology right in real time. Okay. So let's try to work on this. So here we go, guys. You're probably going to hear a bunch of a lot of things. So stand back and stand by. I'm going to make this work. So I'm going to turn my camera off on here, just so it doesn't like really mess with you so much. Stand by. And I'm going to turn the mic off. Stand by. Hi, am I back?
You are back.
Yes, I am back. Okay, let me double check this. So this is the thing, like in the beginning, when I started doing this, if this had happened, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that this happened, whatever. Now I'm just like, okay, so we had a little problem. Let me see if I can get the microphone that I want on. Oh, wait a minute. I plugged in the wrong microphone. I would have had a little freak out before, but hey, this is what happens, and this is what makes it real. I may have to go back out and come back in. Okay, stand by. Oh, there we go. How's that, producers? Is that it?
Wonderful.
Perfect.
Wonderful. We're back. So let's hope it doesn't go out again. Okay, so whose birthday is it? It is Haley from the show Me. 500 from the show Me. Is that from, where are you? Are you from Missouri? Where are you from? It is my birthday. Would love to hear you say happy birthday, Haley. Happy birthday, Haley. We're happy that you're here, and we're happy that you're part of the elimination. So you too can become part of the elimination if you're not a member. The membership link is at the top of the chat. Also, you can subscribe. It is right below the Don Lemon Show logo. Subscriptions are free. Our memberships are extremely reasonable. And make sure you subscribe. Make sure you become a member. Make sure you like and you follow our content. Hit the thumbs up. We appreciate it. Okay, we were just talking to Lauren Egan, who's from the Bulwark, and we're happy that she could join us. Now let's bring in my Lemon Legends, because they're joining us today as well. I don't know if any of you are having a birthday, but let's say happy birthday, everyone, to Haley, everyone in the comments and everyone on the screen. Hi, Lemon Legends. How are you today?
Good.
Good. How are you, Don?
Thank you so much.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
So Andrea Pinkney is here, Kim Page is here, Anitra Cooley is here, Maureen Marfell, Kathy Brown, Warren A, May Money, MJ, Natoisha, Marlene Prosser, and Nicole Cox. Did I get everybody?
Yep.
You did.
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
I did.
Did you?
Oh, James.
Did we get
Brim.
Andrea and?
Yeah,
I got
he
Andre
said my name. Mhm.
James Brim is here as well. So thank you all for joining. So before I get you guys to comment on what's going on, I want to play something for you, because the reason that we're in the trouble that we're in now is because of these tariffs economically. And then we're going to talk about the Dems. Okay. The reason we're in this trouble right now is because of the tariffs from Donald Trump. So this is what Donald Trump told us. What did he tell us back in the day? That we were going to be winning so much that we're going to get tired of winning. Let's listen.
Win so much
You may even get tired of winning, and you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more. We're going to win.
Kim Page, are we winning right now? Are you tired of winning at the moment?
We are not winning. We are not winning. And I'm beginning to think he's doing this on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember back what happened in 2008?
Of course I do.
And how the corporations started buying up not just commercial properties, but residential properties. And then it escalated in like 2011, 2012. I think when he says we're going to be winning, he's not talking to us.
Right.
He's talking to all of his rich friends.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm really beginning to see more clearly. Do you think?
I said that this morning that he loves, well, I shouldn't say he, but rich people love a recession because then they can buy up a lot of things. The rich people love a recession soundbite was from the TikTok this morning. We played it this morning. They do because they can buy up farms, they can buy up a bunch of things, right? And then they buy low and they sell high. Watch this.
About how the Republicans and the conservatives, the wealthy ones, really want the economy to tank. And I thought I should answer why I know this. I work in commercial investing. My father worked in commercial investing. He came from wealthy West Coast money. So I grew up in this world of people being so excited for recessions. They were so excited. They talked about them like they were glory days. Do you remember that recession? Oh, I got so many commercial properties. Do you remember that one? I bought so many farms. They love it. It's like going to a thrift store where you're destroying the lives of people that you hate with every purchase. So they love it.
She's not wrong. Now, who is it? Was it Natasha? Was it Anitra or Andrea? Somebody was in finance and somebody talked to him. Was an advisor at one point. Was that one of you?
Marlene.
Marlene. Is she lying?
No, not at all. Nope. And the reason why I say that is when I worked with people that had 401ks, and when the stock market went down, we always told them not to sell, wait till it goes back up. But then this very rich man had called in and he said, I know that's what they're telling you to say. He's like, but that's not true, because this is the best time for us to buy when it's low. This is the best time.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
You think he's doing it on purpose?
I do. I always did. I don't give him credit for being as dumb as he is, which we know he's dumb, but I believe that he knows exactly what he's doing and he's sticking it to the everyday person on purpose.
Mortgage brokers, someone in the chat says, likes recessions. Mortgage brokers like recessions. Nicole Cox is going to bring you in. Do you agree with that? Or do you disagree with anything you've heard? By the way, Willerton Burns, welcome to the Lemon Nation. And for Big Red 08110, welcome to the Lemon Nation. Go on. How you doing, Nicole?
I'm good, Don.
Oh,
Listen,
I love the hair.
Marlene.
I love the hair. You look gorgeous.
Oh, thank you, boo. I had a wedding to officiate this weekend, so I had to, zhuzh it. So we had to zhuzh. Marlene and Kim get the Cupid doll for today. We can all go home. We're done. This is it. That is all. That is it, and that is all. And he told us the game plan.
Yep.
Economists, they affirmed the game plan during the election season. They were like, look, y'all, this is what is about to happen. And folks are just like, no, that can't be, because he's an American and he loves America. No, he loves money. The man is here to make his money, and he has partners. It's just like any other corporation. That's exactly run America like a business. No dum-dums, because when you run something like a business, there is a board, And there are investors and there are stockholders. And the point of a business is to make money for the stockholder.
Which would be the American people if you were really running it like a business, right?
No. We don't have the stock. We're the workers.
Yeah.
We're the employees. See, you got to rearrange.
But we should be the stockholders, is what I'm saying.
Baby, you ain't got enough. Well, maybe you do, Don. I don't know what's sitting in your, I ain't gonna count your coins like that. You ain't gonna do that. But those of we on the other side don't have enough to play at this table. This is the high rollers table, dear. We still sitting over there at slots. Okay. This is the high rollers table. This is only invitation only in the back room. And that's been the plan the whole time. This is a corporation to this man. It's not even love, like, hate. This is strictly dollars and cents, bottom lines, spreadsheets.
Yeah. So let me tell the folks who are watching. So nothing is wrong. I went to the dentist today. And so when I smile, it's a little off and I'm a little swollen. It's getting better. Also, make sure you hit the thumbs up, please. It affects the algorithm. More people become aware of our conversation. They get to see you lemon legends on the screen, who I really appreciate. This is the highest tier of our membership, and you get to be on the screen. These folks are my true correspondents and analysts and consultants because they're here all the time. Jim, I hear you in the background. Oh, Warren, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I have to give my sister Nicole 3 snaps. She hit it on the button, and Nicole, you got to give me my snaps back when we finish. All right. But Don, I was just researching. I heard you asked about the 401ks and everything. I recently retired. I retired December 31. I did look at my 401k and I am concerned. But then I said to myself, what about the people out there that are listening now that have no idea what a 401k is?
That's right.
Or what, where we are with that. And then I started researching while you were talking. And of course, it always falls back to the issue that we refuse to recognize in this country. And it comes down, well, it's part of that equation. It comes down to the racial makeup of people that have 401ks. And I was, of course, it's white, Hispanic, and then Black. And I mean, I'm just saying that though, because I don't know what your audience is on here that have 401ks. I do, I am concerned. But then I started reading and it said, how does 401ks, how does that drop in the stock market affect people that don't have 401ks? And then it gets into the pricing and the loss of jobs and these kind of things. And I don't know who could expound on that, but I was just taken aback by that because it's always a racial element involved in that. But again, my sister Nicole, she hit it on the nose, and I'm looking, and I was going to say not going to F with my money, but I'm still waiting for OPM to give me my final paycheck from working for the federal government. That was almost 3 months ago, and I'm still waiting. I do have savings.
You're going to get it? You think you're going to get it, Warren, with everything that's going on now and all of the, doging of
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question, Don.
No, I said, you think you're going to get it with everything that's going on and with Doge and all of that, and they're refusing to give paychecks to folks, and they're just, not, even if they had contracts and have completed the work?
Well, some of my lemon legends on here know what's getting ready to happen. I'm going to be out there with my one leg after I'm waiting for surgery, but I'm going to be out there marching or protesting, and you may read about me on your program here. So time will tell.
We'll join you.
Yeah, we hope
we will join you, Warren.
The exclusive. Go ahead, Maureen. What did you want to say?
Oh, I just was telling Warren I wanted to join him. I would do that. I'll find something for him to get his money. I have 401k, IRAs. I had recently retired, and I haven't talked to my finance person at all, but I'm starting to think I should and see if it, I hope some of it's still there. I also have an ESOP because I was with a company-owned organization by the employees, and it's affected by the stock market also. It's been doing really well during the Biden years when I started collecting it, but now I don't know what this crazy man. You know, I don't know what's going to happen with it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm lucky. I'm a lucky person, truly. There's a lot of people suffering so much. They don't have that. Are seeing their health care go away. They've lost their jobs. I can't complain, but I can complain about what he's doing to this country and to our neighbors. And everybody else has said it really great so far too. It's, of course, we're all worrying about it.
Hey, Jim, you usually talk about these things, right? About what's happening, especially as it relates to healthcare, et cetera. And I know that you wanted to weigh in on this. But, you know, there was someone in the chat said, Dom, what are you worried about? Whatever. I'm worried about everyone. I'm worried about my family. I'm worried about people who are who were offered the buyouts and didn't want to accept them, and people who are not going to get their paychecks. People like Warren. You can be someone that I know I'm in a position of privilege, and many people are. And if you have a 401k and you're sitting here, you are in a position of privilege. But that does not mean that you can't worry about others and that you can't be empathetic to other people who, because that all of us, we're all going to be in trouble. And so we all have to speak up, and we all have to be willing to sacrifice something, right? So, Jim, I want to hear from you, and then I'm going to go on. I want to move on and talk about this other stuff that I want to show people that we are worse off than we even realize.
I'm going to tell you, I'm just fucking pissed. I am downright fucking pissed at this point because, you know, this society has failed my family over and over and over again. You know my situation, our situation. We took in 2 kids that no one else would support. I'm now trying to fund a trust fund for one of them to live another 70 years after I'm gone. And you know, every dollar matters. Not for me. I'm fine. I don't need for anything. You know, I live well. I'm not going to kid you. I'm fine. And there are a lot of people much worse off than I am. But this is much more sinister than we're looking at. This is what we've been talking about the last couple of weeks. No one is that stupid to shoot this economy in the foot unless there's ulterior motives. And it's not money. It is not money. He's saying, everybody relax, wait, just there's going to be a little pain. There's going to be a little pain. There's going to be a little pain until he figures out how he can anoint himself as the king and how he can be one of the 2 or 3 rulers of the world. That's what I feel this is about. Call me a conspiracy theorist, a skeptic, whatever. I don't believe I am a conspiracy theorist, but I think the Liz Cheneys of the world and some of the other people that are out there. There was, I saw something the other day. Someone sent me a Yale professor. She wrote a book about the mental health of Donald Trump, and 40 other psychiatrists weighed in. Now she just did another book with 50 weighing in. And, you know, I believe that that's where we're at. I don't think it has, everybody's like, oh, the money. I don't think it's the money. I think it's the power. And we're all just going to be a byproduct, and the middle class is going to fall to the lower class. Their kids aren't being fed at school anymore. They're not going to have vaccines. They're not going to have health care. They're not going to have whatever. So they're going to start stealing and you know, from each other, like we've seen, and rioting and burning down the cities, and then he'll send in the troops to just kill them all off. I mean, I know that sounds horrible.
Oh my gosh, Jim.
But
that is
true. I know. I'm not that person.
I
I'm a
agree.
positive person. But
Wait, let's get everybody up on the screen.
Was laid off last week, was fired last week, no benefits, no nothing, no notice. And it's like, Jesus, you know, and I know several other people. And I think it's not just, you know, we've been talking for years that it's the hate that's been unleashed, you know, with the racism and the hatred on the streets and everything else. But corporate America's also been unleashed to do whatever the heck they want to do now.
Yeah.
And to do whatever they want with their employees. Well, you don't want to be here, then, you know, F you, goodbye. I'm cutting your pension. I'm not going to pay your health care. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. So I think there's just so many other things here at play. And I don't mean to be so pessimistic, because I'm really not a pessimistic person, but I don't know what else to do. You know,
well, that
I was
is
a big fan of yours. And I still watch, you know, Aaron Burnett once in a while. I do watch the State of the Union, which I've gotten away from. But I did tune in this weekend, and I had to turn it off because you had Ron Johnson down there from Florida going on and on, lying and lying and lying. And go back and watch it if you didn't watch it. And Jake Tapper just sat there, dumb look on his face, didn't say a freaking word, didn't fact check him, didn't correct him, didn't whatever. And, it's like, what's the point? What's the point?
Well, I'll tell you what the point is for us.
I'm a little bit at a loss, Don.
No. The point is for us is that's why you need to support independent media and come here so that you can voice your concerns. And also because you get to be part of this program. And if I screw up, if I F up or I don't follow up or I don't do something, you guys call me on it. Am I wrong? You guys will.
Yeah, we will.
Oh, yeah.
Nicole won't. I'm joking because she will. Look, all of you guys will call me on it, and I think that's the way it should be because this is your platform, and this is a moment that you need to support independent media. And you heard what Lauren was just saying from the Bulwark about where folks are going now to get their information. They think that you can just go on any of those shows in traditional media and that it's going to have the same influence that it once was. No, it's got corporate influence. People get it. You guys get it. And so I'm glad that you're here. So support independent media. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, right? It does affect the algorithm and people get it sends a message to the algorithm that folks are interested. This is something you need to tune into. And people who are not subscribers, who are not members, it sends them the link and the awareness of the notification for us. So make sure you hit the thumbs up, become a member. Subscribe to our channel. It's really an urgency that you guys do to keep us doing what we're doing. Now we just want to know from a show of hands.
And the spell, Don, the spell is not going to be broken from the MAGA people until we see, $100 gallon of gas and $200 a dozen eggs.
It may not even be broken with that because somehow they managed to. He will change the messaging and they just keep saying it's Joe Biden's fault. It's everybody else's fault except for Donald Trump. And he's the one that's putting these tariffs into place. But just a show of hands, are you guys as pessimistic? That's a dire sort of prediction or mood that Jim is in. Do you guys feel the same way?
I feel half and half right now, but I'm going to more pessimism, but I am an optimist. So I want to keep that still alive. But I've got a little nephew who's got autism right now, and just a little guy. And I'm so afraid that they're going to cut funding. I have nieces and nephews I definitely worry about. I'm there for them, but yeah.
Donald Trump's nephew was on the other day pleading with his uncle to please spare Medicaid and Medicare and all that stuff for his own grandnephew who's got a situation, handicapped or whatever. But I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I'm trying to be realistic that we need to prepare. We need to do something as a group, as a world, as whatever.
We're going to talk about that, Jim,
because
we're going to talk about that. Okay. I want some other folks to jump in. No, that's okay. I want some other folks to jump in. Someone in the chat said CNN fired Joy Reid. That's a different. MSNBC is the one that that canceled Joy Reid's show. CNN is the other thing that Jim was talking about. And you guys know when I saw the thing of someone calling Justin Trudeau governor, and then they sat there and they laughed like it was a fun moment. I was just shocked by it. Okay, so who's in the purple? Is that Andrea? Who's that? Andrea in the purple.
Anitra.
Hey, hi, Anitra. Anitra, you were raising your hand, and it seems like you wanted to get in. I want you to get in, and then I'm gonna move on with some other subjects. What did you want to say?
I was just talking with James, agreeing with James. We're in trouble. We're in big trouble, and I feel like that the urgency isn't there. But I'm somebody who's been on the bottom before. I just now started this journey. I just got my degree not too long ago. I've been homeless. I've been in the trenches, and I know what is coming for people that are doing less than me. I have an opportunity now and I have a job, but we're in trouble. I thought about that movie, Leave the World Behind. I think they were trying to tell us, get ready, because it's coming. And the only people y'all going to be able to rely on is you, because the rest of everybody else going wherever they going, and we're not invited. And so we're going to have each other.
Yeah.
And I'm ready.
You're right about that. Okay, look, I just want to show you guys something. We're going to get everybody in today. Don't worry about it. Plenty of time. I'm going to take my time with you guys today. I just want to show this. This is from Fox News, where Donald Trump was talking about a possible boom. And when they were on TV, as the stock market was crashing, learn from Enron scandal back in 2001. The CEO quickly sold their stocks. The employees list their 401k. Yeah, they always end up doing okay. But this is from, I want to put this up. This is from, I believe it is from Fox Business News. So the stock market is tanking. And then they were talking about Trump on possible economic boom. You just watch. So someone said that they weren't going to, realize it until there's like $100 a gallon gas. I don't know if they'll ever realize it, because even that they are contextualizing it as this is a boom. You just have to wait for it. You can hold out. It is going to be okay. Just you wait. A lot of folks can't wait. Kathy Brown, I don't think a lot of folks can wait. I don't think a lot of folks have the money to be able to wait. They're digging into their savings. And I don't know what this, he says it's going to take a little while, maybe a couple months, but that's not how it works. This will take years to turn around if you screw it up.
$400 the average American has in savings, $400.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kathy.
Don, I've been a nonprofit leader for over 40 years. And one thing that people don't realize is that when the stock market falls, the services that nonprofits provide to the most marginalized go down dramatically. So the stock market has a broader and even broader societal effect than the individuals, those of us with 401ks, those of us most marginalized. But then when you get into the sick and the unhealthy and individuals that rely on so many services, that falls way short as well. Did I cause John?
Yeah, it's all your fault, Kathy.
Oh.
It's all your fault. I'm blaming you. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm not blaming you. You know that.
No, that was my point. And then if there's ever time, I have another point about Governor Newsom, because I live in Los Angeles.
Well, what did you want to say about Governor Newsom? Because that is a hot topic.
Well, Governor Newsom, you know, to those of us that live in the state, or at least those of us Angelinos, saw Governor Newsom start to move to the center about 2 years ago. And we saw him start to abandon trans rights about a year and a half ago. We saw him not campaign for Kamala Harris. We saw him start to position himself to be able to be a presidential candidate if Kamala Harris lost. So many of us in the state who are yellow dog Democrats are very upset with our governor for his positioning over the last 2 years.
I always wonder why Democrats, when they're in trouble, if they need to change something, what they do is they somehow move to the right, because they think that that's going to get them more voters, right? The same thing with the news networks. They think that by moving to the right, they're going to get more viewers. And it doesn't work that way. People aren't dumb, and they end up turning off their core audience. And then that audience goes away, and then they're in trouble. And then they start blaming everything except for themselves. So look, I want to play this so I can get everybody in. This is on, let's see, I want to play now the prime minister, the new incoming prime minister of Canada. What he says about Donald Trump, what he says about America, and what he says about Canada, and what they're going to do and what they're not going to do. This is why I believe Donald Trump bit off more than he could chew, and that he said, oh, I'm going to call your bluff, and they called his bluff. Watch.
Will put into action our plan to build a stronger economy, to create new trading relationships with reliable trading partners, and to secure our borders. There's someone who's trying to do the opposite. There's someone who's trying to weaken our economy. Yeah, Donald Trump. And Donald Trump, as we know, has put, as the Prime Minister just said, unjustified tariffs on what we build, on what we sell, on how we make a living. He's attacking Canadian families, workers, and businesses, and we cannot let him succeed. And we won't. America is not Canada. And Canada never, ever will be part of America in any way, shape, or form. We didn't ask for this fight. But Canadians are always ready when someone else drops the gloves. So the Americans, they should make no mistake, in trade as in hockey, Canada will win.
So you know when he said that, when he said in trade as in hockey, I'm like, what is hockey? And then I realized he meant hockey.
Hockey.
Andrea, what say you? They're not backing down. And I think that look, Donald Trump is in a world of trouble. And because Donald Trump is in a world of trouble, we are in a world of trouble. But it appears that they called his bluff. And that's just the beginning of it, because there's other things that I want to tell you about.
Donald Trump has made the mistake of thinking he knows it all. And what's wrong is he's listening to Putin. He's been bought by Elon, and they want to take over the world. That's what their actual plan is. And so they want to collapse the economy in America, and they think they could take over Canada. It's all going to fail. It's going to fail. You're going to have some investment stored somewhere. I see people now living with their parents. I see parents living with their children. You have to come together. We got to stick together. We got to stick together. We got to help one another and be willing to walk that Pettus Bridge again.
Amen. May Money, what do you say?
Oh, well, I have quite a few things to say. I guess I would say with this whole thing with Canada and I mean every other country, I would say even including like Ukraine and Zelensky, just don't even come over here like asking the United States for anything, because we can't help ourselves. So what are we going to do to help anybody else? Like, it's a huge waste of time. I mean, it just seems like we've isolated ourselves and done this to ourselves. I don't even know why people. That's why Canada, didn't they just keep the tariffs on after Connell like turned it back? I feel like they were like, nah, we're already here. You're already threatening to do all of this and mess with the Canadian people. Mexico ain't playing. And Zelensky, he might as well just go find other allies, because we got our own issues over here. We can't help nobody. So it's just, I mean, it's crazy. We were talking about 401k. I'm 32 years old. I still live with my mom. What's a 401k? Who has that? Healthcare. What's that? Health insurance? Nobody knows what that is. That's my age. So it's just kind of like, yeah, y'all have your 401ks. That sounds nice, but we don't have that. People that are my age. So lucky y'all.
Well, that's what Warren was just saying. And by the way, when you think about these things, that if you're lucky enough or privileged enough to have them, usually people of color, minorities, and women usually fall at the bottom, right? They're the ones who are most affected by these things. May not have a 401k, don't have health insurance, or the government is telling you what you can do with your body, on and on and on. MJ, I want to bring you in because I want to know from what you have to say about this. This talk about 401k, Canada not backing down. It doesn't appear Mexico's backing down. China is not either. And so then what is Donald Trump going to do? Is he going to continue to call their bluff? Is he going to bolster and saber rattle until we are really backed into a corner and maybe we will have $100 gas or $16,000 cell phones, or what?
Well, he following orders. Well, I think that I think he's doing it on purpose, like other people have stated.
You do?
Yeah. And I know that if you look at I know your producers don't like to say dictatorship, but dictators, when they first start, they usually
look, let me tell you, MJ, I've already said we're in a dictatorship, so do your thing.
All right. They say that dictators will try to destabilize the economy, create chaos, so they can be more of a dictator, isolating the country, turning against your allies. Like, I'm really scared when I saw what Canada said. They're like our greatest ally. And then I think he's completely destroyed that relationship. I think the only way that our allies will come back and be allies and trust us again if we have another election and put in somebody different. Otherwise, we're isolated. As far as my 401ks, my portfolio in stocks are plummeting. I'm really scared to see my 401k. I know that's plummeting. I just think, like James said, and I think I mentioned last week, that they want people to be poor. They want the middle class to disappear, and they want the rich to get richer. And if I agree with you, we're in a recession. If that happens, I don't think we're gonna. I just think he's doing all of this on purpose. And I think his rich friends are okay with it. I think corporations are okay with it because they're just going to get richer.
Speaking of destroying a relationship with Canada, and Canada not backing down. Now, this is the premier of Ontario. I don't know if you guys have seen this today, but this one I think was one of the biggest indications that we are in a world of hurt is because of what this premier is saying, a 25% increase in for electricity for people who are in 3 of the neighboring states, border states, Michigan, Minnesota, and New York. 1.5 or so million people. It's going to be $100 extra a month. And then he says, okay, I'm willing, and I can increase it if Donald Trump keeps up these shenanigans. And then if he keeps it up even further, we're going to turn it off, which means people won't have electricity. And so Donald Trump thinks, remember he said to Zelensky, well, you don't have any cards. You're not holding any cards. Well, Donald Trump is holding no cards when it comes to this. How is he going to get power to those people? So here is the premiere. I want you to listen. It's a little bit long. This is the premiere of Ontario, and then I'm going to bring in Natasha to talk about it.
Forward with a 25% surcharge on electricity exports. For the 1.5 million American homes and businesses that Ontario powers, homes and businesses in Minnesota, Michigan, and New York. This surcharge will cost families and businesses in these states up to $400,000 each in every single day. On an average, this will add around $100 per month to the bills of hardworking Americans. Let me be clear. I will not hesitate to increase this charge. If necessary, if the United States escalates, I will not hesitate to shut the electricity off completely. Believe me when I say I do not want to do this. I feel terrible for the American people because it's not the American people who started this trade war. It's one person who's responsible. That's President Trump. I'd rather be working together. I want to sell the U.S. more energy, more electricity, more critical minerals. I want to make Canada and the United States the richest, most successful, safest, most secure 2 countries on the planet. But as Premier, my #1 job is to protect the people of Ontario and in hand protect the people of Canada. I will do whatever it takes. I will fight like I've never fought before to protect Ontario. Friends, none of this makes sense. Costly tariffs against your closest friends and allies do not make sense. The U.S. markets have lost trillions in value. Companies are second-guessing investments into the American economy. American workers' jobs are at risk as we speak right now. Cost of hardworking American families will only go up. It doesn't have to be this way. We are stronger when we work together.
That's some serious shit right there. If they're going to cut off electricity and they have the right to do it, they have the right to do it. Natasha?
Yes, they're serious. And anytime you have the Canadians pissed off, and they're one of the nicest people, they're not playing. And it's like when a bully bullies a person, and a nice person, and they're not taking it anymore. Even like a person that ends up fighting back, whether it's just speaking up or when they're, physically fighting back. And he had more balls than the Congress people. Congress, the Republicans. Even I'm very disappointed in the Democrats. I'm very disappointed in even media that, like they said earlier, about not even speaking up when things are being said. So it takes the Canadians to come and speak up and say, look, we're not taking this. You're not going to mistreat us. We're not going to stand for this. So kudos to them. And even when I look in social media, it's very interesting to see how many Americans are in the comments saying, go for you. I hope you stick it to us, to just pretty much say,
hey, I'm glad. And there's Canadians that are like, hey, sorry, we have to do it to you, but we're not going to stand for that. And we're like, it's okay. And it's really sad. And we are in trouble. And I mean, to kind of jump back, I think two things can be true. I agree with like what James is saying and what Nicole's saying. And I mean, I base, what we were discussing earlier. I think it can be true, money and just being, just pretty evil.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Natasha. Let me just tell you again, thumbs up, please, because it does affect the algorithm. And thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys, all of the new members who have joined, all the new folks who've become members today. We really appreciate it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button right below the Don Lemon logo at the bottom right of your screen. Kim, do you think other people are going to be emboldened by the Canadian Prime Minister and also from this Ontario Premier? Other nations like Mexico or China or whoever that Donald Trump may try to, bully by putting tariffs on or in other ways?
Well, as Natasha was saying, kudos to the Ontario Premier. I was sitting here thinking, isn't it a shame that the Canadians are stronger at standing up to Trump than our own Democratic Party? I'm so embarrassed by that. I'm so upset by that. We've been talking about it, I know, for a couple weeks now, but I think I heard today that Hakeem Jeffries came out and actually was so, I don't know, he was upset that his Democrats didn't hold decorum in the House. And, we've talked about Red Bell Green, but I found that surprising. I look at the Canadians and I say, thank you. Maybe there's some leverage there that can actually move the ball in a different direction, because our parties, Democrat and Independent and Republican, are not doing anything to help us. Right?
Yeah.
Everybody?
How do you guys feel about that? Anybody in the chat want to respond to that? Nicole, are you there? Nicole, you're opinionated, and I mean that in the best way. What do you feel about it? Because I have some more stuff that I want to show you about the Democrats. I feel like we beat up on the Democrats, but sometimes, and you saw the top of the show, sometimes they need a little motivation, and I am with Kim. Like, Hakeem Jeffries, what are you doing? I'm sorry. Go on.
I think they're stuck. I think they're stuck.
Who said that?
Okay.
Hold on, Nicole.
Andrea.
I think that was.
I
Who was
said
it?
I think they're stuck. That's me, Andrea.
Oh,
Go
Andrea.
ahead.
Hey, boo boo.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
and then Nicole will come in.
I think I just feel like Donald Trump has no choices. He has sold his soul. He is SOLD, his soul, SOUL, and he has no choice. Elon bought him, and Putin owns him. He has to follow orders.
And how does that relate to
no
Hakeem
choice.
Jeffries and the Democrats? How does that relate to that?
Well, with Hakeem, I mean, even if he tried harder, Donald Trump is going to do anything he can, like he's doing now, to put false statements out in the media, make the economy crash. Whatever he can do, Hakeem is not going to win. Just like with Kamala. Kamala would have been great as president. Sometimes I feel like the presidency last year was bought. He gave people Elon gave people $1 million. People forget that he gave people $1 million.
He did. He did give someone $1 million in sort of a raffle kind of thing.
I just think he's not going to win. Putin and Elon are going to do everything possible to make this country fail. And Hakeem just sounds so passive to me.
Yeah. Go ahead, Nicole.
He's very passive. I am hopeful, but hope, it's scary. It's scary watching what has happened. And Canada being our best ally, and Mexico being our ally, it's amazing what we see right now. And I've been here long enough to know this is horrible.
Yeah. Nicole, I cut you off. I'm sorry, boo. Go on.
No,
And
you
I'm
were
sorry,
fine.
too.
No, you fine. No, girl, listen, get it off your chest, boo. We pressed and stressed. Okay, so Democratic Party. First of all, can we clear the air on something?
Yes,
The
ma'am.
Democratic Party is not as far left as we would like to imagine they are.
Right.
All right.
That's right.
We have very much lived in a two-party system as long as everybody here in this chat has been alive. Even though there are other political parties out there, they have not had the monetary backing to be an actual threat, and I put that in, or a contender, that's a better word, an actual contender for the top seats. They just haven't had the money. And it is about money, because you have to have a certain amount of money in order to be able to contend for the top seats. They have not been able to garner that type of support. Green Party has been shooting for this for the longest time, and they're probably the closest to it, trying to get, what is it, like some kind of magical percentage. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. In comparison to the Republican Party, they appear to be, they're liberal, and we use that word a lot. No, they're just a little more liberal leaning than what the right is, or what the Republican Party is presenting. That does not make them liberal, okay? They are politicians, high-powered politicians as well, high-financed politicians as well. I'm going to emphasize that, high-financed politicians as well. That party is heavily financed, okay? So when we are looking at, and I'm not saying this to get them off the hook, I just think we just need to kind of be more realistic about what it is we're actually expecting out of these people. Why is it they're being so mealy-mouthed about this, at least collectively?
I just don't think they know what to do. I don't think, as you heard my conversation
they
earlier.
don't know what to do without losing what they've got, Don. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do without losing what they've got. And we have to understand, even though we don't have to accept it, but we do have to understand they are playing that game. The reason why they want to pre-meet with you, Don, before they come on the show and chap, at least most of them, because some of them are not this way, but most of them, there's other people in the background. They're not like some of the smaller parties who are more independent or and whatever. So there is that on the table. And we have to be realistic and recognize this. This is your America. This has always been your America. I listen to a lot of further left-leaning content on YouTube and other platforms, just so that I can hear what other people are saying. And as they unpack their philosophies, their policies that they would have preferred, even though many of them are in that camp that they would have voted or did vote for Kamala, for VP Harris, but that was in the face of the threat of the Orange Menace of WIG. They were trying to block WIG. Yeah. So let's get that straight. So in that regard, sure, they should be saying more. But are my expectations for them to say more? In fact, I'm not as emotionally hung up on that, because I know the game.
Okay.
I'm going to get some other folks in, Nicole. Get out of this with still your job.
Okay. Look, I want to let's bring Marlene before I bring you in, and others. This is another cringe moment from Democrats. This is what they're doing, is that they're trying to be more relatable to the people and meet the people. Remember, I told you guys that my pledge to myself was to meet the audience where they are. And if the audience is on social media, that's where I'm going to meet them. If the audience is on YouTube, that's where I'm going to meet them. If the audience is on Substack, that's where I'm going to meet them. Wherever that audience is, I'm not going to pretend that it is someplace where it was 10 years ago. Right, on broadcast television, because it's not there. Great, everywhere. They should go everywhere. They should do broadcast television. But this is where the folks are now. And look, this is another sort of Democratic moment. Here it is.
This is the Ranking Rizzler on appropriations, serving Connecticut's 3rd District. It's time to enter your dark academia Congress era. All right, besties, House appropriation is the money moves in Congress. We are not chasing the bag. We are the bag. Democrats are making life smoother through government funding. It's giving, it's giving. So Sigma, main character energy. But Republicans' Project 2025 is mad sus. Eliminating the Department of Education? Negative aura points. Basically, the biggest phantom tax on the environment, on your education and your rights. Big L posting it online, buddy. Democrats understood the assignment, but go off. See how I keep you informed? Very cutesy, very demure.
Okay, let me just say this. Let me just say this.
No.
Okay,
Turn
look.
the TV off. Turn the TV
No.
off. Don, we're
Okay,
finished here.
wait. Hold
It's
on.
been a
Come on,
pleasure.
y'all. Let me
I'm
say
gone.
this. Let me just say this. I think it's so cringe that it could actually work. I think that people could like her because it's so cringe. No, do y'all disagree with me?
Yes.
I love
Yes.
No, I agree with you, Don.
It's so cringe. She should lean into that, and she should.
That is
she
an
should
SNL
let-
skit, Don.
She
That's
should
an
let the
SNL
kids
skit waiting
lead
to
her.
happen. I can't wait for them to do it.
She is being her.
Yeah, she is being her. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind that one. Is it
Woman her
who
age,
agrees
I
with
like
me
her
that they kind of
there.
think she should lean into it?
I don't even know who that woman is.
But you will if she continues that because the kids will love it. May Money, come on. Am I wrong? May Money,
Look
come
like
on,
Cloris
May
Leachman
Money.
with purple hair.
I don't know. I don't know about that one. Okay, look, okay. I mean, sure, it was kind of cute. I mean,
May, you do not have to be nice. Skibbity.
look, I'm not
Skibbity.
about to get on
Girl,
Mima
Sigma.
like that. I'm not about to
Come
do
on,
that to
boo.
Mima. Okay, I'm not about to do that. You know, she was cute, whatever. I mean, so this is just kind of talking about what I just met Barbara Lee the other day at my local watering hole because she's running for the mayor of Oakland, and she was like, talking at a little meeting or whatever. So anyway, and my question to her was, why aren't you, it just doesn't seem like anybody's reaching out to the younger, leaders that we have. Like, I mean, AOC,
This lady's
Jasmine Crockett,
trying. She's trying to skibbity.
yeah, well, but then why don't she get in the background and start knitting and start training somebody else that younger that can actually pull off that skit and go sit your ass down, like, for real? Because, like, I mean, haven't y'all fucked up shit enough? Like, let us do something. There are powerful leaders that are ready to step up, but y'all won't get your damn knit set and go sit down and let us do it. You can still be and help us out. You can still mentor. You can still be there, but we got to be the face of that, lady. We got to be the one with all the lingo and all the, energy here.
Who was that? Was that Maureen? Who was that in the background talking?
Yes, my voice of the older lady. I agree with you both. Nicole, and May Money, I do. Yes, younger people need to come to the table, and that's what you both are doing. But you can still use the more mature group to help out and put their voice out there. So at least that's what she's doing, that lady.
Yeah.
Don, I'm not, okay, not to cut anybody off. I'm not saying that she should not put her voice. Every single voice from every generation matters, because every generation has a specific wisdom and experience to bring to the table. That being said, baby, don't try to access this generation with what they are currently going through. Bring who you are and what you have. I work with children all the time. I do youth worship ministry. I work with a youth theater troupe. They don't expect Miss Nikki to roll in there and just be like, I can't help but be hip. That's just who I'm is. But the point is, they expect me to be me.
Well, I think that's that lady, though. I got to tell you, Nicole, I think that's her.
What she's doing. She's being
I think that's her personality.
Listen. They want. Let me tell you what young people respect. Let me tell you what they respect. They want you to respect their intellect as well.
Absolutely.
You don't have to roll up on them with the latest slang when there are serious things going on. They want to know there are serious things. If you really want to insult a child.
Okay, all right, Nicole. Look, let me tell you this. I get what you're saying. But I think that the young people will actually, like what she's saying. I think the young people will actually like that. I think that that's her corny personality. Go ahead, Jim.
She's always been this way. So you guys are just seeing her for the first time. We're talking about her. That's good. She got to you. She was effective. She got to you. You never saw her before. She's been around forever and she's not changed. She's always been talking to the youth. this isn't an Elizabeth Warren moment where she cracks a beer to try to keep up. This woman has always been this way. She's always been a little eclectic and kooky and great, but she's worked for the people. And you got to respect that. Who I'm not respecting, who I love, is Jim Himes, but I don't like the stand he took against the congressman who was waving his cane, because
Al Green,
you know, that should be a non-issue.
Okay, Marlene Prosser, I want to bring you in.
Child, if she like it, I love it. Then go ahead. If you like it, I love it, boo.
Marlene, what do you say? Is it cringe or do you like it?
Well, I think everybody's right. I can always see everybody's point of view, but I believe that the Democrats have to get feistier. She was feisty. She definitely was feisty. I personally didn't like it, but that's just me. But she's got to, her and people like her have got to mentor the younger generation, the AOCs, the Jasmine Crockett's, the other gentlemen that speak their mind. Just be who you are. I got to give it to her. She's being authentic. That's who she is. But the Democrat, when I was in business, one of my mentors said, the reason why you're not being so successful is because you're too smart for your own good. Meaning I got to think about every single thing. It got to look a certain way, got to be perfect. No, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be. Like you said, just do it.
Yeah, I want to put something up. This is what the DCCC posted, and I can't believe, finally, I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you very much. Let's put this up, and I want to read it. The DCCC posted this online, and they actually said a naughty word, or wrote a naughty word in their correspondence. Can we put it up?
It's up.
Hello. Oh, I can't see it. Oh, I don't see it. Is it up?
We see it.
Read it out loud, Don. You know you want to.
Oh, I don't see it. I don't see it to read it out loud. It's not up on my screen.
One of us to read it.
Yeah, I don't
Oh, okay, here it is.
John
Republicans, I
lives
see
to
it now,
cuss on this
inherited
show.
one of the strongest stock markets in history, and in 1 month, they effed it all up. I like
What
it.
they did, Don? What they did?
They
I don't
they
see
effed,
anything.
they effed it all up. It says, I don't see it on, I see it on one screen, on the YouTube screen, but I don't see it on our main screen here. MJ, what do you think of that message?
I think that's great.
Absolutely.
Why so?
And I think more because it's true.
Absolutely. Yep.
I love when people speak the truth. And what's happening with the Democrats, they're not. And I know
They're
other
just not
people
speaking.
Yeah. Like during that fake State of the Union, I don't know what they were doing. They just sat there.
Yep.
Like, and when Al Green, they took him out of the hall, they just stood by and watched. It reminded me of that woman that was in that town hall meeting and nobody helped her. That's what they did to Al Green. I think he was a hero. Like he was a patriot. That's what we should be doing. I don't understand why nobody's angry.
Yeah,
They just sit
MJ.
there. I don't understand that.
Have we spoken since that fake State of the Union? We haven't, have we? No. Oh, okay. So, well, what am I doing? Because I want to talk to you guys about that. What did you think of that, Natasha? What did you think of them, Al Green walking out, nobody else standing up with him? What do you think?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I was very upset about that because I thought, first of all, the Democrats should have stood behind him. That should have been a joint effort. If he stood up, they all should have stood up.
And then some of them voted to censure him.
And that pissed me off then too.
Yeah.
Because they had the nerve to talk about decorum and all this. I said, first of all, the president that we have has blown all that out the way. This whole administration, everything that's going on is not the typical demure, decorum, any of that. So this whole trying to go play by the book thing is ridiculous. And I've said before, and I'll say it again, is that I feel like they're waiting for something catastrophic to happen before they get serious and realize, oh, now we should do something.
Coulda.
Yeah. And it's like, I thought that was ridiculous how they did him. Before, I know people have talked about MTG and, Lauren Boebert and the other one, they've all made all kinds of outbursts and other people as well. Nobody censured them.
Nancy Pelosi. She ripped the speech up.
Yeah.
You know, so nobody has censored the.
The majority are black people.
Anitra Cooley, what do you say about the whole Al Green situation with Dems?
They wrong. They didn't stand behind him. 10 people dissenting. I said, you go, Mr. Al Green, like the Al Green, the singer. He said, I'm not gonna stand for it, but you go get your hands off it. Medicare, I see. Anyway, I just had to hit it's my debut album. But that was just wrong. They should have stood behind him, and they should have never censored him. If we're going to censor him, then everybody should be censored or nobody, because it's ridiculous. I'm tired of two different narratives and two different outcomes. I'm sick of it.
Let me tell you guys something. So you're here just so you don't get mad at me. I love it. I love it when we disagree. I love it when we go back and forth. I think it's great. This is how people should talk. So I sit here and I have a little score thing of how many times everybody's talked, because I'm trying to be fair. Everybody doesn't get to talk. You guys know, not equally. There's just so many people. But I try to be fair and I try to get you guys in as much as possible. Guys, I love that you're here. Anybody else have any final last words? And I really mean a lightning round, because I just want to make sure that we look. I have all your names up there, and I just I make sure that we try to get everybody in as many times as possible. Any final parting words? Go ahead.
Additional, real quick. I do want to say that there is going to be a town hall with Tom Tillis. I'm in North Carolina, and I will be attending.
You are. Will you?
Yes.
You're going to take your phone and can you shoot some stuff for us?
Yes, I will. I will be the correspondent if I need to be unofficial correspondent.
Thank you. When is the town hall?
It's going to be next Monday.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if for some reason I'm not here, I should be though. But if not, I will be reporting the following Monday.
Okay.
But I will make sure. Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? I loved our talk. And I go ahead, May Money. Again, quick lightning round. Seriously, like 10 seconds, please.
I just want to say love y'all and thank you for having us here. I just wanted to say, like, what we need to do is we all have to match the energy of the Jasmine Crockett's and the people. They can't just we can't ride their back and ride them all the way to anything. We need to all be matching the same energy. Everybody has to be on that energy. We can't do it alone, so we just gotta like start coming together and being a little bit more ratchet up in here if we got to get
Absolutely.
ratchet. Right?
Absolutely.
Stay 10 toes down.
Okay. I'll shut up.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just want to say, I love this community. I love the Illumination, and I love all of you, so we disagree sometimes, but I think
it would be really boring, Maureen, if we all agreed. How boring would that be? I like the energy.
It'd be really boring.
Yeah.
We're not. Yeah.
I think we all agree on one thing. There needs to be change, major change.
Absolutely.
And Michelle Obama, I love her, but she didn't say it right. When they go low, we go low to the gates of hell. Open those gates and push them in.
That's right.
Marlene, did you have something? You had your hand up.
Yeah, I just want to say that I am so thankful that you do this. I followed you when you were on CNN, but this keeps me informed. It keeps me energized. Being a Lemon legend is the highlight, and I'm just glad. And I send this out to all my friends, my family. They don't seem to get it. They're just walking around like, oh, it's not going to get that bad. But just thank you so much for being who you are.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Anybody else? Are we good?
Can I say one more thing? This Andrea.
Yeah.
I wanted to say I think it's going to take us all minorities to work together. All minorities. If we all work together, we could beat this. It's not going to take money. It's going to take people actually standing together.
Thank
we
you for
shall
that.
overcome.
Go ahead, Nicole.
Yeah, mobilize.us. Mobilize.us. I'm going to say it again. Mobilize.us. Get your pencils out, y'all. Mobilize.us. Get on it. Sign up. It is a great resource. It will show you different places within your area in which you can get community active, because I know we talk a lot about stuff on the federal level, because the federal level stuff is the stuff that makes the news. But it's going to be stuff from the grassroots level of us bonding together, getting out of the
Amen.
rugged, individualistic United States of America mentality back into collectivism. I think, Andrea, it was you who brought that up. I was so glad you did. Getting back
Thank you.
into collectivism, that is going to allow us to either overcome this or survive it until it is overcomable. So mobilize.
I don't know if you guys heard Nicole. She said mobilize.us.
Yes, come on, Don. Come on, Don. Because I'm just saying. I mean, we can all be very vocal
telling
and
you.
opinionated,
Yeah.
but we need to touch.
I agree. We can all agree on that. Jim says we
touch
all agree on that.
somebody and help
We
somebody
need to
in the
do
flesh.
we need to do a hands across America, but this time we'll all be holding up a middle finger. And
Okay, that's lovely, James. But
Go ahead,
do it
Kim.
on Mobilize US with people who are actually like gonna give somebody like a bag of food after you give them the middle finger. Then give somebody some food or some clothes, or
I agree.
Go
I'm
ahead,
the
Kim
most
Page.
charitable person you're gonna
Go ahead, Kim Page.
Yeah, I was going to say something similar to Nicole, indivisible.org. It was something that Rachel Maddow brought up. They have a whole kind of booklet with action items. They also mobilize with Mobilize US across the country. So those are ways that we can get involved.
Legends, I love you. Thank you, guys.
Don, I like your haircut.
Love you.
Oh, my hair. Oh, it's growing. It's really long.
No, it looks good. I like your
Thank you.
blue shirt too.
Oh, thank you so much.
Turtleneck is killing me again.
I appreciate it. Look, you guys see my, it's so numb right here still. It was
What'd you
swollen.
do?
I had to have 2 crowns fixed because they came apart. So right here. So there you go.
Oh.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I love you guys. These are Lemon Legends, the top tier, and the supporters have been with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate your support. Okay, so if you are, that's the top tier of our membership, Lemon Legends. You get to be on, you get to have conversations like us if you become a Lemon Legend. We have different tiers of our membership. Make sure you become a member. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. If you're watching us on TikTok, hit the hearts. Smash the screen, as they say. If you're watching us on Instagram, follow us. If you're watching us on Facebook, follow us as well. But our main gig, our main thing is here on the YouTube, and we appreciate it. It's what we call full frontal. You get to see all the comments and everything. So the subscribe button is right there to the right. I just ran my cursor over it, and it says subscribe, Don Lemon. And it's at the right, just below the Don Lemon Show logo. Subscriptions are free. To become a member, it's very reasonable, so we appreciate you, okay? Listen, guys, I love my members. We get to talk, we get to hang out, we get to discuss the news, and you get to be a part of it as well, not just someone just like speaking to you and insulting your intelligence or not pushing back on a guest, because if I don't push back on a guest, you guys hold me to account, right? So, as I say every single day, I'll see you back here, by the way. Oh, wait a minute. Producers, don't we have something that's coming on after this, right? It's going to redirect them.
John Boyd Jr., we have your interview with him coming up. It'll be at 8 o'clock, but this is going to redirect you to the page.
Yeah. John Boyd Jr. is a black farmer, and wait till you hear what he has to say. He says, and I don't think he's wrong, that the Trump administration wants to fast track South African farmers, right, to become citizens of the United States. And they want to, and they're incentivizing them by offering land and farmland and incentives from American farmers. And they believe that it's coming mostly from black farmers. You will see a soundbite in there from Elon Musk when I interviewed him a year ago. And he said to me that he believed that there was a slow genocide of white people in South Africa. I mean, yeah. And so I kid you not. And so you'll see that interview. It comes up at 8 o'clock tonight, but if you stay here, it'll redirect you. You can get a notification if you get notifications as well. Okay, so we'll see you then. And then 10 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow, Hot Topics. Okay, so as I say every single time, turn this TV off. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see